Welcome again, everyone. We're happy to be here today for this webinar on trends in online education featuring Maria Acosta. Before I turn the program over, we have a few housekeeping notes. First, please remember to put your phone on mute and refrain from placing the call on hold to avoid any background noise or unnecessary interruptions. Second, we have reserved time for questions. If you have any questions, please in the question function in the webinar access panel. The question box is in the lower right-hand corner of your screen. Just type in your questions and we will read them aloud. Third, this webinar will take no longer than an hour and is being recorded. Be sure to check the ACCE website within the next few days for the recording and any presentation materials. And now please welcome Chris Mead, Senior Vice President of ACCE, to introduce Maria Acosta. Sorry about that. I thought that Chris was on the line. Chris Mead, are you on the line? Okay. All right. Well, this is Tencha Young again, and I would like to welcome you to this webinar. Please welcome Maria Acosta. Again, she is the Senior VP. She is the VP of... Maria, feel free to take it away.
All right. Good morning. I believe most of us are good morning, or there's some good afternoon. Again, as Kenya said, my name is Maria Acosta. I'm the Vice President of Business Development for ZipEd Tech. So we have some information for you with regards to trends in online education for Chamber members and their employees. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. If you have any questions, again, as Tanya mentioned, please just chat. I'll answer them as we kind of go along. And if anything does not get answered during the webinar, I will go ahead and send out a Q&A to Tanya, and we can go ahead and upload it as well so that everybody has it, and we'll be able to answer all of the questions. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. So again, we're ZipEd Tech. We are a company an educational technology company in Southern California in the Los Angeles area. I was actually at ACCE last year presenting on our chamber affiliate program. It was just a concept that we had been partnering with ACCE on, and the LA Chamber and some of the local chambers here in Southern California. And we had some really good receptions. So since then, we've actually officially launched, and we're very excited to present the information on online education and the things that the Chamber can take advantage of and the benefit that it can provide to the Chamber members as well as their employees. All right, so here are the agenda that we're going to be covering. We're going to talk a little bit about the benefits of e-learning to employees and businesses, utilizing the power of e-learning for talent development, kind of do a little bit of demystification in terms of webinar versus online courses, because there seems to still be a confusion regarding, webinars versus online courses. We'll talk a little bit about future trends in the online world, talk a little bit about some of the popular courses that we're seeing that small businesses are definitely utilizing. And then, of course, we'll go over our Chamber affiliate program and see if it's a good fit for your chamber. There are some chambers on the call or on the line that are part of our program, and so I will mention who they are at the end. So I just want to go ahead and get started. All right, so what is e-learning? So e-learning is the use of technology to enable people to learn anytime and anywhere. E-learning can include training, the delivery of just-in-time information, and guidance from experts. So these are some of the benefits of why e-learning to employees and businesses. There is a lot in terms of training and online, why online versus on-site. We all know that different employees have different modalities of learning in terms of they learn better, either visual or tactical, or they just want to read or watch something. But online education has kind of taken on a life of its own. And we'll talk a little bit about, I'll show you some statistics in terms of where we are at and where we're going. So companies can reap the rewards of providing training for their employees because well-trained workers help increase productivity and profits. This is especially true for small businesses. So we want to make sure that as our chamber members, which tend to be small to medium sized businesses, we want to make sure that we can provide them the training that they need as well as for their employees. The benefits are there in terms of having employees who are engaged in their jobs and careers. They learn about their company and industry and to learn skills that improve their performance. Employers who want to harness the full value of their employees and foster loyalty and retention will find training is a winning prospect for all involved. And this is not Zip Ed Tech saying that. This is kind of what the small business world is saying and what we have found through our research in creating our program. All right, so it's a win-win position in terms of employee productivity. We know that any companies who utilize e-learning tools and strategies have the potential to boost their productivity by up to 50%. You know, we all want our members' businesses to be profitable. We want them efficient. One of the ways that they can do that is by providing online education and training to their employees. Statistics show that for every $1 that companies spend, it is estimated that they can receive $30 worth of productivity. So it's a win-win proposition for the businesses and for the employees. Okay, so when employees feel valued, they are engaged. Engaged employees are more productive. Productive employees increase their marketability and create positive results. So one of the pieces in terms of when employees take online education, you know, do they increase their marketability? Yes, because they're staying more informed of their tasks and work responsibilities, and they're also, there is a big correlation with increased productivity, employee retention, employees feeling valued, and of course, overall, this will improve product and services. And this is all kind of dictated by some of the research that's out there in terms of what small businesses need in order to thrive. Importance of training and development in the workplace. So these are five top reasons in terms of what makes it important to provide training and development. So we all know that when there are weaknesses or there are performance pieces, we want to make sure that we address them. Training does do that, improve employee performance. There's consistency in messaging, and we'll get to a little bit about the topics. This is one piece that's in terms of consistency, especially when we are training employees on HR or compliance matters, that is such as sexual harassment or OSHA or continuing ed type of training. We want to make sure that the message is consistent. It reduces turnover. More engaged, more productive employees are happier at their jobs, and and of course, it overall increases employee satisfaction. So happy employees reduces turnover, improves their performance. They then provide better services to the businesses, to the business owners, and to the business. All right. So what is the difference between a webinar versus online courses? I get this question a lot in terms of really, there's so many free webinars out there. If you sign up, I get probably a day, maybe 10 to 12 free webinars. Most of it is on HR compliant type of topics. And so why why not offer that to my employees? It's free. It's a free webinar. So this is the main reason in terms of what we have found in our research and in doing this. We have in our, when we deliver online education, we have a learning management system. That is the big difference. Webinars are just webinars. They're just a webinar where you know, like you're attending today. You turn on your computer, you have your phone. I'm sure most of you are not multitasking or responding to emails or doing other pieces and have us on mute. I'm sure none of us are doing that. We're all paying close attention to the presenter. But we all know that with webinars, that's very easy to do. I am guilty of doing that when I'm on a webinar, where I will just, log in, put myself on mute, kind of listen in and out. Really, am I really retaining the information? And how is that information validated? So that is the key piece. And I have to tell you, of all the chambers that I've done demos for and have launched throughout this year of launching our program, that is probably the most impressive piece that the chamber executives don't really know. I mean, they really weren't aware that, oh yeah, the webinars are one thing. We know somebody attended. Do we really know they attended? How engaged were they? How effective was the training? Do we have any proof, any validation of that? And this is what sets, online education apart from just a regular webinar. These are the 8 benefits according to our e-learning industry in terms of why use a learning management system. Training is tracked in one location, so we can keep track of training history. We can run reports in terms of what trainings an individual has done. There's 24/7 access to training, so that's always a plus, especially when we are training employees who we need on the floor or in front of a customer. We want to make sure that they have access to that training. We track a learning management system, tracks learning, learning outcomes, learning analytics. It reduces time and cost of training, especially if you have a business that has a decentralized model where you have multiple locations in terms of making travel arrangements and having individuals come to one location for training. It always reduces the time and cost of training. It ensures compliance by validation of the learning. There's a validation as proved by a certificate of completion. And of course, it integrates social learning experience. And what does that mean? It basically allows for the social learning experience. We all know that with social media, that's become a big marketing for our businesses, and we want to make sure that it all integrates together. All right, so what are the trends for online education? So these are the trends, sensational e-learning trends for 2016, according to e-learning industry. Training has to be mobile. People have to be able to pull out their iPads, their smartphones, and be able to engage in learning that way. Gamification in learning, it has to be interactive, it has to be visually appealing, engaging. Micro-learning. Micro-learning is pretty much chunking data, which means providing small bits and pieces of information. So if you were to go into one of our courses or into an online course, you'll see that there's chapters or there's subtopics, and the information is pretty much chunked. It's small bites. That's called micro-learning. Big push on video learning in terms of having videos and pictures in terms of learning. That has always proven to be an area of importance, because there's some learners that are visuals and they want to see what they're learning. They want to see the person that's speaking, or they want to see an image of what is being discussed. So that's always important. Competency-based learning, and this is where there's pre-test, there's post-test, interaction quizzes in the middle of a training exercise, where we want to make sure that we are able to gauge competency and that the learning is occurring throughout the module. big data. Some of these words you probably are like, what are these words? Big data is pretty much being able to track percentages of completion, being able to really to monitor how individuals are learning, is something working in terms of online content that is being presented. This is really important in terms of making sure that the training that is presented is actually accomplishing the goal or the learning objectives that the training set out to do. Cloud-based learning systems, and this is what this is basically anywhere, anytime type of learning. So you can just log into the internet and all the information is stored on a cloud, and you can download it and you can view it anywhere, anytime that there's internet connection. And this is a trend of the future that I know we're starting to see quite a bit of, wearable technology training. And this is where you would put on a Google glasses or any type of actually show your screen. So, you know, multitasking, you'll be able to use a watch, you know, in terms of the Apple Watch or any of those. So that is becoming a trend of the future. Whether or not, you know, it actually will gain momentum in terms of actually being able to be utilized for formal learning, that is yet to be seen. All right, so these are some more trends. We will, this information, as Tanya mentioned, will be actually, and so you can see some of these. These are top 10 e-learning statistics. I'm not going to go through them because it's a lot of content, but basically it's a lot of the information that we covered. In a nutshell, it basically says online education is, again, continuously, it will be increasing. There's no trend that's showing that it will not. They're scheduled within the next 5 years, a 9.2 increase growth rate for online education. Of course, who are the countries? India is top. The U.S., I believe, isn't even on there. So yeah, so online education has become very popular internationally. Again, the trend is to utilize learning management systems because of the benefits that I mentioned in terms of just versus doing a webinar versus being able to really, you know, track and really have it in some ways replace live training or supplement it. So it's something that will continue to be important, and we are going to keep seeing an increase. In terms of mobile learning, I mentioned that earlier, that will continue to be a trend. The more utilization of iPhones and smartphones and iPads and you know, more on mobile is kind of the wave of the future. MOOCs in corporate training. These are the rooms that exist. A lot of the universities have these type of rooms where training can occur, online corporate training, so forth and so on. So again, the trends that we're seeing is it's going, you know, it's all, on all respects, there's an increase in terms of online education, especially in the corporate world. Making sure that, you know, there's 24/7 access to the delivery methods, the increase in learning technologies, and of course the on-demand of software and services. So, you know, all this information is public information on e-learning industry. We utilize this. This is a good source for us in terms of really keeping track of what's going on with the future of online education. Because we want to make sure that, you know, we grow with the trends that are happening, and we kind of stay abreast of that as well. All right, so what type of courses are being used that we've seen? And so this is kind of no surprise for, you know, the majority of the individuals of businesses, of small businesses. What we're seeing is compliance training. We all know that when we are made or we are required to complete training, then we will do it if it's monitored, if it's regulated. So By compliance, we mean HR related, so this includes sexual harassment, any type of risk mitigation, whether it's a meal break course, a rest break course, any kind of OSHA training if I'm in an industry or a business that requires OSHA training, if I'm in a business that requires food handling safety training, or continuing ed. If I'm in a profession that has continuing ed requirements and it's required for compliance, then that's the majority of those type of courses that are being utilized. The second most popular is skill improvement. So this tends to be office productivity, Excel, Word, QuickBooks, PowerPoint, social media in terms of Facebook and Twitter. These all are more skilled improvements, learning something new that will help me in my job, something that that will teach me a new skill or brush up on a skill that I may need to do. The third is personal development. So this is anything that's fun, that would be fun for me. It's not required. It's not something that's going to help me build a skill. It's more personal. So this is communication, anything from communication to any kind of learning about a specific topic that is communication counseling type of course that will help me in my personal life, work, place balance. And then the other is that's kind of more just pretty much anything else that kind of doesn't fall in, that doesn't have a category. Just to clarify, so the most popular courses, or what we're seeing in terms of utilization, is HR, compliance, risk mitigation, type of courses that are required or have a kind of certification. Like, for example, we have courses that are approved by an outside agency for managers through the HRCI Institute. So so those type of courses tend to have more popularity because they are a required piece. All right, so let's talk a little bit about our Chamber affiliate program. Some of you have heard about it. We talked about it last year at ACCE. It's evolved within the last 6 months. We have launched over 100 chambers. So in a nutshell, this is some of the summary of the program. So basically what it does is it positions you as the chamber as the provider of workforce training for your members, for your business members and their employees. So you as bringing this education to your chamber members and to your community, local community. So you're viewed as that resource, as that value-added organization. Training is provided via your chamber e-learning portal. I'm actually going to show that to you. Probably the next 10 minutes I'll be looking at the actual portal. Hopefully one of the chamber members that is using, I'm going to actually use them as the case study, if you will, in terms of showing you how they're utilizing the program. We provide you a link. The chamber then puts the link on their website. It embeds it in different ways. I'll show you how one of the chambers has done it. Every chamber really has done it a little bit different. We have our preferred or our recommended in terms of getting traffic and getting kind of eyeballs on it, but every chamber is different. And a lot of the chambers within the last, I would say the last 6 weeks, we're seeing a lot of chambers do a lot of transitioning with their websites. So they're going from they're kind of moving into a more mobile, optimized mobile website that has the ability for chambers themselves to be able to do some content management and actually manage their own website. So we're seeing a lot of that in terms of changing how chamber websites look and how information is delivered to the members. big piece on ours, and I think what sets us apart from from any other training is we have a LMS on the back end, a learning management system. If you were to talk to any of your chamber members and the businesses and ask them in terms of, do they even know what a learning management system is? Have they looked at, procuring such? You will know that it is a very cost-prohibitive investment, and a lot of the businesses, especially some of our small to medium-sized businesses, don't have that kind of capital and resources to do that. I mean, how amazing is it that the chamber is bringing that to them? It's giving that to them as being a benefit of this program, that they get that learning management system on the back end. We have a library of over 1,000 courses in a variety of topics. There's a revenue share opportunity for the chambers to participate. 25% of all net sales that come from that page of the chamber that benefits from that. Payments are done quarterly to the chamber, so that's definitely an added benefit of non-dues revenue. This is no cost to the chamber. This is probably the #1 question I get asked by chamber staff and presidents and CEOs is, how much does this cost? It's kind of interesting, I always get that, and I always say there's no cost. This is a new program for us. We've launched it. Literally, it's been launched probably with our first chamber about, I would say, it was launched 6 months ago, but market and all the resources that have gone into it, I would say within the last 4 months is really when some of our chambers have launched. And so it's still very new program. We're seeing really good success when chambers and Zip EdTech partner in terms of really consistent marketing of the program, and making sure that chamber members know when they're looking for training to look to the chamber for that resource. And we ask for a 1-year agreement. We always say, we want to give it a good year to really launch it, to market it, to really adoption of the program with the membership. We don't want to just say, okay, we tried it for a month, it didn't work, let's cut it. Especially since there really is very little risk to the chamber, we kind of take all of that on ourselves. For us, it was a way to really be able to partner with chambers, with organizations that have a really good brand in their communities, and partner in terms of delivering online education, because that's what we are all about. Zip EdTech is about providing quality workforce training to small businesses. We not only deliver it, but we also create it as well. All right, so let's go look at it some more. So who participates? Here's some. These are some of the chambers. We couldn't fit all of them on here in terms of their logos. So see, these are some of the chambers that are currently participating in our program. So we are now national. Our main focus had been California, but we have now gone national. So we have chambers in about, I think the last count we did, we had chambers in about 15, no, maybe more than that. How many? Probably about 20 states. About 20 states. Right now I believe we're about to launch 10 more, and we have about 6 more that are in process of launching. So, we have really, within the last, 6 months, really, increased our chamber participation and the work that we're doing with the chambers. And it's been for me, it's been such a rewarding experience in talking to the chamber staff and the presidents in terms of how we can assist and partner and bring online education to the chambers. I remember last year when I was at ACCE, and we were talking a little bit about online education and who is bringing online education, and are any of the chambers bringing online education to the membership? And the answer was no, a resounding no, pretty consistent throughout the members that we talked about. And last year at ACCE, I believe I came back with probably 400 business cards in terms of chamber execs that I had talked about. But again, it was all a proof of concept last year. Now we actually have, data. We have information in terms of the chambers and which ones are more successful in terms of their adoption rates, in terms of what courses are being utilized than we did last year. So a little bit about one of the questions came up in terms of the courses, and I'm going to actually show you a portal in a second. So where are these courses coming from, and where's the source of it? So we have searched. I'm part of that. My entire background is higher education, so education is my world. And so we basically curated content providers. So initially, we started building our own content. Once the partnership with the chambers came, we could not build content fast enough, or we did not have the subject matter expertise. So why recreate things that another content provider is providing, and is providing, has really good content that we ourselves were using in other subject areas. So we decided to reach out to these partners and content providers, and have secured the 1,000+ courses. So we'll look at it now. There are some courses that we created ourselves, because that's our business. We create online education as well as deliver it. But most of the content now is coming from third-party content providers. And we are actually just getting ready to launch a couple of additional content providers. So since chambers are so diverse, in my launching, because I do all the launches for new chambers, and speaking to the chamber executives and the marketing staff, no two chambers the same. In terms of the industries, in terms of the nuances, in terms of, who is your, I would say, who's your typical chamber member? I get such diversity in terms of responses. So it's not, one size fits all. So we needed to curate a wide variety of different topics and different subjects. So we'll go ahead and continue. All right, so let's check it out. So I don't know if Heidi's on. She was registered, so I don't know if she's on. But this is the BERA Chamber. They are one of our first chambers that launched. And by launch, I mean they put the link on their website, but they had very little traction until very recently, where we've actually started doing some joint marketing. So let's go ahead and check them out. I'm going to go ahead and click on the chamber page. I'm going to bring this over. So this is the BERA Chamber. Of course, here's their proud members of ACCE. And so what they've done on their website, they've put online training here, and they've also put it on building your business under online business training. So basically, these two links will take their branded page. This is what the branded page looks like. We've actually, some of the chamber members who are part of our program on the call will see that it does look different. So check out your page. We did modify it a little bit. It has gone through a little evolution. We've gotten some feedback. And so here are the different categories of the different types of training. So it tells you who the content provider is. So here's some retail course. It tells you who the person is. It tells you a little bit about the course, a promo, course detail, gives you a little bit of information about the course. 615. Go ahead. I'm sorry? Oh, I thought I heard someone speak. So these are 615 is one of our content providers for retail training. So if you were to go down and click on retail, these are the 615 courses. They are our internationally known content provider. Amazing courses. I actually took some of these courses myself. I'm not in retail, but it's much easier for me to speak on it once I take the courses myself, and really informational. Some of our clients, in terms of, we have retail associations that are currently utilizing this type of training. It's just, they vetted it, and a very solid training in terms in the retail world. So we have, let's see what other pieces. So we have the risk mitigation courses. They are in California, so some of these courses are specific for California. If you are a non-California chamber, then we will not be putting, anything that's specific to California or to any state-specific content, because we want to make sure that it can be that it's utilized. So customer service, so just different types of training. So you can go back and go on to the BERA Chamber, you can go on to their library and kind of take a look at all the courses. We also have, I have a library. I've actually sent it to some of the potential chambers who've asked for it in terms of what are the courses that we have, what are the courses that we're getting. We have, again, professional development, we have personal development, compliance. So we have a little bit of everything in terms of the training piece. Let me go back. Let's go ahead and close this out. So that's there. This is kind of a little bit of a screenshot of the BERA Chamber and their portal. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back. Okay. All right, so let's go back to their portal. This is another really fun part that I like to do, which I think is amazing in terms of really giving you a good sense as to the system. Okay, so here's a sign-in. I'm actually going to take you into the system so that you can see what it looks like in terms of the learning management system. And this is what I believe really sets us apart in terms of utilizing our program versus any other program that's out there. I haven't seen anything anywhere near what we have in terms of what we're offering to the chamber community. So you can see it says, "Hello, Maria." I'm still on the branding for the BERA Chamber, so that never goes away. So the system does remember where each individual is coming from. So it's right here. I went ahead and clicked on courses. This takes you to the course page. Of course, as a VP, I have about 100 courses on here. I have quite a few courses. These are all the courses that I have in my system. So they're either in progress, they're open, they're redeemed. Redeemed means that someone assigned it to me and I redeemed it. So this is the part that's really, such a great feature for businesses. If I have 2 employees and I wanted to offer them the Excel bundle of 5 courses, I can easily assign them the course by just typing in their email. I would then send them the course and they would then be able to access it. As the person that purchased the course, I can then look at my assigned courses and see, have they completed the course, is it in progress, the name of the person, and then a certificate of completion, should one be available, would be placed here. So it's a really good way to track employee training, to be able to know, who are, I want to know who's completed it, who's in progress, what are the courses that are being utilized. Great feature. This comes with the delivery platform of the portal, which makes it really nice for businesses, small, medium-sized businesses, and even large businesses to be able to really utilize this. For large businesses, we do have a dashboard that's available that's not a one case, one assigned by one. We can bulk batch enroll, batch assign courses. So these are all the courses that I have in my system. It has all the different courses I have. So it has a good type of filtering system. The other piece that's really nice is in terms of transactions. The system allows you to track all of your transactions. So at the end of the year, when I'm submitting receipts to my CPA, I can say these are all the receipts for my investments. The receipts are downloaded in PDF. Last is reports. I have the ability to track my courses reports, courses I've transferred, courses I've purchased, or the courses I've taken myself. So it allows me to be able to have these reports, live, up to date. This is all live data, so it allows me to do that and be able to download any of these reports into PDF, Excel, and Word. So this is kind of in a nutshell. I did it very quickly. Some of you have been, I think there's 5 of you who I've done demos for. I usually take a little bit more time when I do it and go through it and show you actually some of the courses as well. Okay. All right, so what do we do in terms of just, we don't just give you a link and say, okay, go and put it on your website. We provide marketing support, and the marketing support comes through e-blast. We have weekly e-blast. We have new posts, Facebook, Twitter. We have press releases. We have presentations. We have new member flyers. We offer free courses and discounted course rates. So these are 2 samples. One is from the West Hollywood Chamber in terms of, this is a free course that they can send out to their membership. We do have a e-blast program where we actually are sending out on behalf of the chamber these e-blasts, especially for chambers who maybe don't have the resources and the time to be able to send it out themselves, and so we do it for them on their behalf. So these are just 2 of the recent ones that we've sent to the chamber, or we've sent out on their behalf to their chamber membership. So these are all support pieces that we provide to chambers to assist them in the adoption and making sure that their members start utilizing this great resource that you've provided them. Right. All right, this is one of my favorite quotes. Tell me and I forget, teach me and I may remember, involve me and I learn. Again, e-learning, it involves people, it engages individuals, it assists with retention of information and validation of information. So we, as an ed tech company, it's our business, it's what we do, it's what we know. We live and breathe online education. All right, so thank you for your time. Again, my name is Maria. Here's my contact information. ZipMart is our e-learning delivery platform. Zip EdTech is our company of who we are. There's my email. If you would like, one of the things I did have, and I have told chambers, we will be at ACCE, booth 14 and 15. Come by and see us. We are, right now, the program is free of charge. Our goal is to get to about 200 chambers by the end of the year. More is better. Probably after that, we will, there is discussion about doing a startup cost, so we want to make sure that chambers who are really interested can get in right now when it's free. And the other question I've always been asked is, will it be free forever? And I said, well, the program is for a year, and after that we have a discussion in terms of, continuing and the support we can provide you. So yes, it's right now there's no cost to have this. We want to make sure that that the chambers know about it, they can utilize it. Come by the booth. We'd love to show you. You can play in the system. We'll show you some of our courses. Some of you, I think there was a question that was raised in terms of who our content providers are. We'd be more than happy to share that information with you in terms of who they are, who are the content providers we're using right now, there's 2 that are in the process of being deployed into our system, so those will be coming up. We recently, last week, launched a transgender awareness course in the workplace. That course is available on an opt-in basis. Offer that course to your members. You can do so. If you do not, you don't have to. So that's the beauty of our system as well. It is customizable. You can decide what you would like to put in your library and what you would not like to put in your library. So it makes it nice. Again, my name is Maria. Any questions or anything I can do for you, just, there's my contact information. Please do not hesitate to contact me. All right, I don't see any questions, Tanya, so.
Yeah, thanks so much for that. We actually do have a few coming in.
Oh,
awesome. Let me go back to the beginning. I'm trying to get our early bird folks in that got their questions.
Okay, perfect.
And here is one. How do you handle member inquiries for those that offer educational programming already. Does this compete directly? And that question came from Sarah Murphy.
Okay, so yeah, so we've had some chambers who offer, most of the chambers that we found that are offering live courses. Very few do webinars. There's some when they've partnered with like Score, like live web, they'll do live webinars. The online education, again, as I mentioned, is 24/7 access, so they can be taken at any time, any place. And one of the pieces, one of our chambers, actually that I showed you, they had a Google month where they were doing a lot of training in Google, and so she asked me, can we not put any Google courses on our website for the month of July? And absolutely. So we took anything that was Google, we took it out of her site, out of her branded landing page on her Ed portal, and then once it was over, we put it on, and she's informed the chamber members that there was additional support for those that didn't, needed additional support within the Google training. So we do not see it as a competition. We see it as a supplement to anything that you're currently doing. But we're very sensitive in terms of really working with you to make sure that the portal is a reflection of your chamber and your community and what you want on there with regards to training. And so we'll work with you to ensure that that occurs. And, I think I get emails or calls from chamber presidents, on a daily basis, just in regards to that piece and making sure that their library is what they want and making sure that they offer it to their membership. So.
Great. And let's see, we have one from Robert Patrick. Will the sexual harassment course satisfy the state of California requirements and give certificate of completion?
Absolutely. So the courses that we have, yes. So our course does meet the AB18 course requirements. So it requires for supervisors, and then we have for managers for California, and then we also have an employee version that is not necessarily required, but we highly recommend that the course be offered to their employees.
Great. And from Barbara Thomason, can we have trial access before signing on? Hello, Maria. Did you hear that question? Can you hear me?
Sorry about that.
Hello?
Kenya's like, where are you? Hello?
I'm waiting with bated breath.
You're like, she's coming back.
Okay, so Maria, did you hear that question?
No, I'm so sorry. I accidentally. Go ahead.
That's okay. She wondered if they could have trial access before signing on.
So what I do is I do the demo presentation. So anybody that's on the call, one that wants to kind of go through it a little bit more in depth, you have my contact information. Also, what I've done for some chambers who are very interested is we'll give them access to a course and the system for a week so that they can kind of take a look at it and see if that's something they want to do. Or the other piece that I've done is through WebEx. I've gone through the courses myself with them on the WebEx, and they've been able to experience it. So yeah, we're very flexible, but yeah, we definitely can give them a trial access to the program. The other piece I want to make sure that I just say, in terms of number 6, there is a revenue share opportunity. I know I just kind of was, going through everything, but this we found, we want to make sure that we stress that there is that 25% of net sales that it goes back to the chamber. This is something that, will provide that, just non-dues revenue on a quarterly basis in terms of being able to, for us to give back to each of the chamber for putting us in front of your membership and positioning us. All right, we have more questions.
Yeah, we sure do, and it's great that you just touched on that, because Gina Schultz, actually, she asked, how much does the chamber earn per webinar again? And you just hit on that.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, so it's 25% of all net sales in the chamber. So it's a great way, for us it's a win-win. You assist us in putting us in front of your membership. We assist you with being that education provider to your members, and then you have that, that added bonus of having that 25% of net sales back to the chamber.
Great. And we have a question from Katie Copples, and her question is, the chambers that you have partnered with, is there a member and non-member option, or is this a benefit of membership?
That is a great question. So right now what we've asked chambers to do, especially in the beginning phases of launching this, because it is online education, can be scary to some of the chamber members, especially when that's not been something that they're comfortable or used to doing. We've asked individuals to put it in the open space. Right now there's one entryway in. We are right now working to, it'll be a kind of a gateway, if you will, for members to go one way and then other non-members to go another way. Right now, the system, in terms of our system, we don't want it to kind of limit anyone from utilizing it. The nice thing is chamber execs will get reports quarterly basis in terms of who's purchasing courses. And if they're not members, then it's a great way for chamber staff to follow up with them in terms of becoming members. And then eventually, once we have the adoption rate up, we can then put it behind either the members only section, or we can say it'll be here for 30 more days, and then this will be only a benefit and can be only accessed in our members only section. So there's different ways that we're looking at it. As I said, every chamber, but yes, we have been asked that there are some chamber members who want to have access only to chamber members, and so we're working with them on how to do that. But in the beginning, we ask that all chambers put it open, because we do want to get that adoption rate up, especially because it's such a new benefit.
Wonderful. And Maria, I think we might have time, a few minutes, to squeeze in one more question. This question is from, and I hope I pronounced this person's name correctly, Tomomi Summers. And the question is, what if a chamber already uses an LMS? Can they offer your courses through their own LMS?
Absolutely. So our courses are all, they're SCORM compliant, which is the format of online education. We do this with, let's say you had one of your clients was Toyota, and they wanted our transgender awareness, put it on their LMS. Can be put onto an LMS. We would then, devise a system to be able to track in terms of what's the utilization, how it's being used, how it's being purchased. So that does require us to change it up a little bit, but absolutely, that is definitely something that's very doable.
That is wonderful. Well, Maria, thank you again so much. We are just about out of time. First, I definitely, on behalf of Chris Meade, I want to apologize for the technical glitch. He was actually on the line but experienced audio problems, so we were not able to hear him. But again, aside from that, thank you for participating. Maria, thank you. Thank you to all of our attendees, and thank you for a wonderful and informative.
Thank you. I look forward to seeing everybody in Savannah.
Oh, yes, definitely. We're looking forward to Savannah. Thank you so much, Maria.
Bye-bye.
All right.